we're going to talk real quick about knife skills, how to properly hold our knives, what our knives should look like, and go through a couple basic cutting skills so we can avoid strains on our wrist, forearm, and also not losing any digits. Alright, so first thing, your chef knife. All stores should have some sort of sharpening block. They're usually mounted on a wall somewhere. So at the beginning of your shift, you're just going to run that right through and then just do a quick wipe off. Make sure that there's no burrs or anything left on the knife. Now when we hold our knife, there's a couple different ways that we can do it. The one thing nobody should be doing is holding their knife with their finger on the top there. What ends up happening is you do not have control over your knife, and then as you're working throughout the day, what will actually happen is this tendon that runs through here will cause strain through your wrist, and then after a 4 to 8 hour shift, your entire arm will feel fatigued. So what we want to do is a couple different things. We can hold our knife exactly like this. Another thing that we can do is you're going to use your thumb and your index finger, put the knife in between, and curl your fingers back. So you're actually above the butt of the handle, and come right up over, and you're going to hold it like that. And you want to have a loose grip on it. You don't want to hold it tight because then you'll lose your flexibility in your wrist, and again, you'll start fatiguing other tendons in your arm. So a nice loose grip so that you can move your knife and have a nice rocking motion with it. If you have very small hands, some of our female chefs have that, what you'll do is you'll use two fingers. Two fingers will come up on your blade like this, fingers curled back, and your other side will look like that. And that'll give you the motion and stability that you need while you're cutting. Another thing too is we don't want to chop down on anything. We always want to kind of go in a rocking motion. So whenever we're cutting, we're always going in a rocking motion. So anytime you're doing any slicing, you're cutting through bread, you always want to go in a rocking motion. Okay. Alright, so now that we just went over how to properly hold our knife, we're going to go over cutting an onion. You'll notice that I'm not wearing gloves or our cut glove, specifically because this is demonstration and I'm not serving to the public. I wanted you to be able to see where my hands are without any obstructions. But when we are in store, we will be using a cut glove and we will be using our plastic gloves. Alright, so on an onion, we have our root end. We are going to cut through that root. We do not want to cut it off. At that point, the juices will run, and that's what actually makes us tear up. So if you just cut straight through that root and leave it intact, you're less likely to tear up while you're cutting onions. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through. Again, I've got my two halves. Set them down. Now the next thing, we're going to zoom in, and you're going to see when I hold an onion, I'm not going to have my fingers out like this so that I can cut off my digits. We want to tuck our fingers under. So you're going to use your two side fingers to hold, your index and your ring to steady, and then your middle finger is actually going to be your guide finger. So again, you see me kind of curling them under, and this top, this front knuckle is going to be my guide so that my knife doesn't go past where I want it. So I'm going to turn my onion and I'm going to start cutting through as close as I can to the root without cutting through. Again, keeping my fingers out of the way and using that front knuckle as a guide so that I don't get any of my other digits. So what we've done there is we've cut down to the root, but not going through. Next thing we're going to do for chopping onions is we're going to make 3 lateral cuts. So we're going to hold our onion on the top. We're going to make our first cut going through and kind of at maybe a 30-degree angle going down. I might have my angles off, but slightly downward cut. We don't want to cut straight through, we just want to cut down. We're going to make 2 cuts through. Finally, We're going to hold everything together, make sure we have that knuckle out, and then we're going to mimic that rocking motion going through and follow all the way through the onion till you get down to the end. When there's not enough for us to hold on to anymore, we're going to flip the onion to its side, cut through, turn it, cut through, turn it, cut through. So that is the only waste of an onion that I have. It's just that small piece. And that is how you properly cut an onion without cutting yourself and not putting strain on your cutting hand.